It's Matty coming at you with another Planet Coaster Park Spotlight. Thank you for joining me, welcome to the video, and welcome to Carla's Gardens, created by Dipindods, or as he is known on Facebook, Harry Dodds, who is very involved in the community, an amazing creator. Now, I'm joined by a very special guest today. Now, somebody pinch me, because I can't quite believe the words that are about to come out of my mouth. I'm joined by the one, the only, the god himself, Nerdchacho. How are you doing, Chacho?
Oh my god, what an intro. I'm here because I was told there was cake. There's no cake, so I'm here for
There's
a
cake
part.
afterwards.
Hello!
Thank you ever so much for joining me. I can't believe I've got Chacho on the channel, somebody I've been watching for like years before I even started my own YouTube channel. It's very bizarre.
Oh, shucks. Well, thanks for having me. Like, this is such a good park to see as well. Like, you guys on console are just incredible. The stuff that you guys are producing is a bit reminiscent of us in the early days of the alpha when we're trying to do things with the game that we shouldn't be doing. So thanks for inviting me. This is awesome. I can't wait. This is so fun. So much fun.
I mean, this is such a good park as well. I had to make sure that I got a good park if Chacho was joining me. But this is a PlayStation 5 park, and let's hop in and have a look around, shall we?
Do it.
So, here we are at the park entrance. Now, just like with other videos, this one is pre-recorded, I'm afraid. So maybe there won't be them raw reactions, certainly from my end, anyway, at least. But Chacho hasn't seen a lot of this, so you're going to have to give me your raw reactions as we go around, Chacho. But I picked this one just because it gave me vibes of your parks, just because of how beautiful they are and how everything is custom as well.
Yeah, I love it. I'm really enjoying these flower beds. I'm like, oh, I'm going to steal some of those color combinations because they're beautiful. Like, the thing I struggle the most with are flowers and nature. And like, there's videos out there about nature and whatever, and it teaches you how to do it. But perfecting it is so difficult. And this is done so well. Like these planters in the beginning, at the front with the lampposts, absolutely spot on. I love it. So good. And I love this film crew as well. It's like, what are you filming?
We're here. That's because we're here, mate. Celebrities.
And the guys that just walk through the shot as well, I'm like, yeah, you see that quite a lot.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's got the Carla's Garden celebrating 150 years. It's felt like 150 years this park is coming, but we've got the tour guide, so we've got M&J Games, got you, got me, we've got Tommy CM all on there, so we're touring the park. We are today's tour guides.
It's like it's us. We made it.
Let's hop in. Let's hop into the park and have a look, shall we?
I'm loving this turnstile area as well. Like, you don't often see people that do the gates well in a turnstile. You normally hide them and do your own custom turnstiles. So I love how this has been put together. So good.
Tactful. I think from start to finish throughout the entire park, just so many original things that I've seen. And do you know what as well? This is a challenge park. This is not even a
money.
Sandbox. This is not sandbox. It's challenge. He's had to save for every single thing. The ride, as I was getting this video, the rides kept breaking down and everything.
God, peasants.
Oh dear, it's like I can't imagine trying to build a park like this in challenge mode. The time and dedication must have taken, and patience, because I would have been ripping my hair out.
Yeah, but you know, there was so much more fun. Like having to play with money and having to actually have an economy in a game. You know that is so much more fun because you're playing the game. You're not just using it to build.
Yeah, 100%. And the risk stroke reward factor as well. It's like kind of what he's ended up creating at the end here, knowing the challenges that he had to go through to get to this point. It's all been worthwhile because, I mean, as we go through the park, it just continues to get better and better as well. It's just beautifully done, everything. I love this building as well. We've got Iron Matty's VIP pass. Thank you ever so much. Yeah. I am VIP, clearly, of course.
As we're about to go backstage, like, don't mind me, I'm just coming through.
I just go wherever I want. Video, and I'm sorry, it's a habit. I have to check inside every single building as well. It's a force of habit.
That makes sense, but I know there's a couple of surprises coming as well. So
it is, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I love all these backstage areas. It gives me very much like kind of your vibes or Moomin Little Socks vibes, as well as these backstage areas. I'm seeing more and more of it as the console goes on. No idea why there's a skeleton there.
It's a member of staff that's been strung up for not doing.
They weren't working hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love backstage areas as well. Like back in the early days of the game, we were all focused on putting rides and coasters and stuff down, and that's all good and well. But there was always that element of realism missing, and that element was missing backstages. Like theme parks are a third backstage, and people don't really realize that. They just think, oh, they're going to turn up, ride some rides, ride some coasters, and be done with it. But don't realize that there's a lot of industrial space in theme parks, and you guys are now starting to capture that on console, and it's so good. Like this area is perfect for what you guys can achieve on console. Imagine if you had Theme Maker's Toolkit. Can you imagine what you'd be doing with it?
Just don't. You had to bring it up, didn't you? We're like, what, 5 minutes into the video, and you've already had to bring up MTK. Well, thank you ever so much, Chacho, for joining me. You can go back to your PC now.
Yeah. So you guys on console, I raise you PC and Theme Maker's Toolkit.
Do you know what? I would love it if they even just imported like maybe 100 of the top TMTK items over, like kind of, especially kind of like the little signs and things like that, just to really add to it. Just I don't want like the entire lot like of the catalog, but maybe just like kind of the top 100 downloaded TMTK items. They put that as a DLC for the console. I mean, they won't. It's an absolute pipe dream. The support for the console version stopped about 18 months ago, about 12 months, 18 months ago. But
does that mean Planco 2's coming?
I think Planet Zoo console next year.
See, they've said no repeatedly.
I think next year. I think next winter will be Planco Zoo console, but I think it'll be next gen only because I don't think PS4 and last gen Xbox will handle it.
Interesting theory. By the way, we're supposed to be touring a park and we're just talking
supposed
about
to be,
other stuff.
That was your fault. Just waffling. It's just because it's so beautiful. Like, and all we can do as we tour this is say how nice it is.
I know, right? So, like that troika is so perfectly put together, and it sits so amazingly on the sightline that it's just. What can you say about it other than it's amazing? Like watching a 40-minute video of two creators going, "This is amazing." It's probably a bit boring, right? You want us to like tear things apart.
That is terrible. What are you doing? Why did you do that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's going on? Don't like it. But no, this park is beautiful, and it's difficult to nitpick. Like, you'll be finding flaws because you're finding flaws, not because there's something that's fundamentally wrong, right? And you've got to be careful when you're doing that, when you're touring somebody else's work, because they put, and she said this is a challenge park, so they put so much love and attention into this, and you can see it. Like, everything that you see on here is deliberately placed, and it's beautifully placed. So it's difficult. By the way, have you spotted that the fireworks are going off in the background? So you had the sign at the beginning to say the fireworks are going off at a certain time, and now they're going off in the background. I was like, oh.
Like I was put a vending machine just in the queue there. Don't see that very often.
If only they worked.
Oh, it'd be nice if they did. I love the station as well. So obviously this is now the German area of the park. So we've got all the separate areas, and this is the German area. Feels very German as well. He's really kind of like nailed that aesthetic and theming.
That Bavarian feeling, yeah, for sure.
Completely. But anyway, we're to our first ride of the park. Woo-hoo! So we have the Achtbahn. So not green across the board, but that doesn't always matter. Stats mean nothing. G-force is really good though, nice and low. So first ride of the park, let's do it. Enjoy, everybody. So, Chacho, what were your thoughts on that then?
You don't often see a hop the gaps, and I'm quite chuffed that somebody has taken on that challenge because they're really difficult to do. You've got you can't make them go humpy, and that's an official term, by the way, humpy.
Yeah.
And you can't make them do all sorts of fun stuff that you can do with a wooden coaster, and it's so good to see that somebody has not only taken on the challenge but done it really, really well. So like there's slight banking and there's slight hills, and this would be more focused on speed than it would be on G-forces, and I think this is done so well. It's like it interacts with the terrain really well, and you've got the waterfall that's going on there. You've got quite a few near misses, so yeah, I love it. What did you think?
I'm in complete agreement. I think it was a perfect ride just as we came into the park. I think it was beautifully themed, start to finish. I like the compactness of it and the small little footprint that it takes up. I'm very much in agreement with you about the elevation in it and like the terrain work and the foliage work. I love the fact that it goes past a waterfall because actually you may or may not know, but I'm obsessed with water features, so I love that.
It's not obvious. You hide it really well.
I do hide it really well. No one will ever know. But yeah, I think that was absolutely brilliant. Perfect ride to go on. Great ride choice. Yeah, well done. Loved it. Now,
Yeah,
oh my days,
bravo.
we're coming up to something now that I have never seen done in Planet Coaster, certainly on console at least. And oh, I laughed when I filmed it. It's just absolutely amazing. You're going to like this, Chacho.
We're going into a toilet.
No. Better than that. Better than that.
Ah.
You wouldn't even guess. I don't even guess what we're about to go into, but we've got the Garden's oldest coaster there, which kind of makes sense, to be honest. But we're coming up to Santa's Grotto!
Oh, do you know, I saw this on the video and I thought, well, like the video you sent me in advance, and I thought, you never ever see the winter stuff used in Planet Coaster, ever. And this is so good. Like,
How cool is that?
can you imagine, though, being that person that has to be Christmassy all year round?
Oh, can you imagine? You'd actually
Yeah.
get to Christmas and it'd be like, go away. Hated. And then he's just got a zombie with tinsel on it.
There's that member of staff. They've been forced to do Christmas every single day for the last 5 years of the season. And it's like, no, I'm done with this now. But no, fair play. You don't often see the Christmas stuff used. And if you do see it, you don't often see it used well. So
No, not
this
at all.
is so good.
One thing as well in this park as well is sightlines for me. Always so good. I think it was just the little subtle elevation changes as you go through the park. There's always something to see, but at different levels as well. So whether that be just the sight line of the trees that have done really well with one colour, one set colour as well. So we feel like kind of we're in the Alpine Hills or something. Or whether that be a coaster or a flat ride. There's always something catching your eye somewhere in the park.
Completely agree. Yeah, and you guys can't do plazas as well as we can on PC. Oh, sorry, I raise you plazas. And this is a beautifully executed plaza because there's trees and foliage and stuff that's been put in the way to hide all of the unsightly path bits that you do. So there's been a lot of thought that's gone into the area that's been put in front of this coaster, and thought for throughput and thought for guest interaction and stuff. And so yeah, I think this is a really good example of how you don't have to use the square plazas or the wide plazas to make a plaza. And do you reckon I can say plaza anymore?
I don't think so, mate. I think you should take a shot for every time you say plaza.
Plaza. Now you're drunk.
I was just chuckling away to myself because he's put that that's ace for sure. Complete mocking me and Michael from M&J Games because I always say that's ace. In my spotlights, I'm always like, oh, that's ace. And Michael will say, for sure. Just that little tongue-in-cheek, little mocking me and Michael. I love it. I love the cheek of it.
Oh, can you imagine what you lot are going to say about me? Like, all the stuff that I say.
Quite a lot. After our billboards.
Yeah. All right. Chill out.
Ace falls. Oh, my days.
I came here to tour a park, not get mocked by people.
If you join me on my channel, I'd expect light mocking from start to finish.
Right, well, I'll return the favour when you come onto mine then.
Oh my days! Oh, that you heard it here first. Chacho has invited me to be on his channel.
Absolutely.
Oh my days! I'm looking forward to that. I love this ride.
So yeah, I was about to say I'm loving this car ride. I have a bit of a bugbear with the track rides, and it's no secret, right? It's no secret that I don't like the track rides in Planet Coaster because they're just done badly in terms of prestige and the queues that they get and everything. But when you see a beautifully decorated one, everything's kind of forgiven. Like this one is just perfect. It fits so nicely into the park. So all is forgiven.
Some of the best car rides that I've seen have always been tactful as well. They've always utilised the foliage and the rocks and like maybe just some tiny little water features. They don't need to be extravagant and I can't say that word. Great big grand designs, like kind of with tens and thousands of pieces. I think just some subtle foliage, little dips, little ponds, just adds so much to it. But we've got the Oktoberfest Beer Festival flat ride here.
Of course. What German area would be incomplete, or what German area would we complete without Oktoberfest. Like, it's a staple of Germany, right?
Exactly. I've never been.
No, me neither.
I don't really drink anymore, to be honest. I'm quite teetotal. I'll only drink once in a blue moon, so I don't know if there'd be any point in me going to a beer festival anymore. But I love this. I love the fact that he's built a distillery in the queue.
Yeah. Yes, and it's so well done as well, like with all the barrels and the boilers and stuff.
It looked authentic. It looked really genuine for what it was, and very in fitting with the theme of the ride as well. And to have decorated a flat ride queue in that manner as well, it's not something you always see. Now, obviously, with those console players compared to the PC players, we do have to be very conscious of our piece count. We do have that dreaded Oswald percentage counter, and as time has gone on in the console's life cycle so far, people are getting more creative and clever and being able to use more and more pieces in a manipulative way around, like kind of less is more, if you will, to create these great big mega parks. I mean, this isn't even 100%.
Oh my god, 100%. Really?
No. I think it's 80% PlayStation 5.
Oh, that's impressive then. Say, because this is a big park and this is a detailed park. I would have thought it would have topped out the counter.
I've got another 20% to play with, should he wish to, which is absolutely insane to me, because just the high level of detail and immersion in this, just incredible. So the fact that he could come back and add more, should he wish to, is incredible.
Yeah, and that train station was beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Right, that's a good train station.
Loved the transfer tracks on it. Now we will actually go for a quick zoom around the train track towards the end. I was debating when I was filming it to do it there, but I didn't want to give away the rest of the park by going through the areas and ruining it. So
go around that definitely. Later on. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it real. This building's lovely as well. Like, that balcony is so good. I might steal that actually for future.
I mean, you can't have higher, more praise than that, can you? When you've got Nerdchacho looking at your park saying, I might steal that.
Oh, come on. My whole channel's built on stealing from other people. Like Brighton Pier, Drayton Manor, Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, Gardaland. You know, basically, if you exist, I'm robbing you. It's happening.
If it's not nailed down, I'm taking it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to plagiarise you at some point. I'm coming for you. That's it.
Mate, if you want to plagiarise all of my stuff, do you know what? Carry on. I'll take the highest form of flattery.
And the stuff that you were showing me privately, I was like, oh, I do actually want to steal some of that. I'm not going to lie.
I didn't show Chacho anything, FYI, just for the our secret project that I'm currently working on. He did not see a thing, all right? Shh.
Was that a secret? Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! But, no, get her. So, he knows that I always go into buildings as well, so yeah, he's put a little get out sign there because I always go into buildings, so he's telling me off. Subliminally, he's telling me off.
You got to have a good interior.
Oh, yeah.
But interiors are only worth doing if it's going to add something to the actual park itself. So, like, I don't do a building without an interior because that's just me. That's because I do tours and I love the interior side of parks. But on a console, you probably wouldn't want to waste a piece count on doing interiors when you could do a much better, beautiful exterior.
If you have a smaller park, sometimes you can get away with it. I have seen some incredible interiors on the console. One of my favourite creators on console, NH99, he created Planet Coaster Frontierland, like kind of the Disney Frontierland.
Amazing.
He did like kind of all Western interiors, and to this day, it's still one of the most impressive parks I've seen. He did that on a PlayStation 4 as well, so it's only a mini park, but every single interior was all like highly decorated. It looked like you were walking into a scene from Red Dead Redemption or something.
Yes. And you know, the interior side only really came along when Theme Maker's Toolkit came along for the PC, because people were making items that you would find in gift shops and find back of house and find in like maintenance areas and offices and stuff. And that's when it really comes to it. Like, having to build all of those pieces using pieces from the in-game menus is a nightmare, and you just can't get the scale right. You can't get the look and feel right. So the interior stuff only really came along when Theme Maker's Toolkit came along. So for a console to even attempt it would be like us doing it back in the alpha days or the beta days or the 1.0 days. Like, it's the same nightmare that you guys would have. So do you know what? Miss it out. Just focus on the outside of your park and make that the most amazing thing you can. No one really cares about the interiors anyway.
To be bombarded by console players sending you interior shots. Chacho, we've done it. Look,
bring it on. I want to see them. I really genuinely do, because I'd love to see how you guys on console would tackle doing interior stuff and maintenance area stuff. So yes, send them my way.
I will. I've got some to show you once we've done this video.
Amazing.
The reason
But
I
it's not,
do a quick
you're not
zoom out
sending me
then-
anything offline.
The reason I had to zoom out then was because I haven't seen a train the entire spotlight so far, and it was at this point I'd realised that the train line was actually broken.
Oh, no way.
I'd had to go and and there was a janitor, maintenance guy there, so he's just fixed it, so the trains will now start going. But I love that train station there for Italy. Obviously, of course, we're now coming into Italy as well, so we've got a new area here. Look at the sight line as well.
Beautiful, isn't it? That lake is so lovely.
Lake
So good.
Wanahagalugi.
Yeah. That's gross.
And then we've got the Luigi's Bakery just to our right as well, which I do go and have a look in as well. I just love this building. The fact that he's done that face just with custom shapes as well.
Yes,
Incredible.
and I was wondering whether that was done for this park or whether it was downloaded from Don't Wake the Dragon, or whether it was done. Sorry, whether it was done for this park or whether it was downloaded from the equivalent of the workshop and placed. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's made with shapes. It's impressive.
It's all custom. He didn't take anything from the workshop.
Oh, amazing! Well,
So,
well,
yeah,
well
he
done.
made that himself. I just love that use of paint tool around the back there as well, and very subtle use of foliage and then the paint tool and everything. And there you go, the train is now working. So
Yeah, there's the train.
There you go, we've seen it. There is a train track in this park. It does work, I promise.
And I love how all of the plazas and stuff here, like they're going into the lakes and into viewing areas, are round. They're not square. Like I'm guilty of just doing square plazas and just square viewing areas. So the fact that we've taken it into this park and having it round, yes, chef's kiss.
Yeah, totally agree. I like the way that he's got this shop set back as well. Like, so rather than just having it on the front, like kind of what a lot of people would do, myself included, he set it back a little bit as well, so he's able to then have the seating just in front, and just having it set back adds a whole new dimension to it. And again, another like aspect of realism as well.
Yeah, it gives depth to the park as well, doesn't it? So like, it's not just slapped on the side of the path and be done with it. You're actually thinking about sightlines and guest positioning. And if you've got people queuing up for a shop, you don't want them in your main area, path area. You sort of want them to be off the path area so that they're not blocking the way. And that's what's been thought about here.
It's like the entire park has been thought about, like kind of visually from a I cannot talk today. Practicality point of view. There's always that thought that's been gone into it, and I love the fact as we've been going around the park, a lot of these flat rides that we've looked at, they've always been elevated just ever so slightly. Again, just giving that little elevation change as well.
Yeah, and they've been subtly elevated too. So it's not like they've just placed it there and it's there. It's like there's been thought into how high that ride should be, and then what's going to go into hiding the fact that it's raised up. Love it. This is such a good cool bridge. It's so simple but so elegant.
Simple and effective.
Yeah, agree. Completely agree. And this is like the classical neon Roman architecture going on now, like with the beams and the columns and stuff.
Yeah, we're coming down to Pompeii. So I didn't go in there intentionally because I realised that was a ride exit. So we will come back through that in a second as we come off the ride. But we're coming up to Pompeii. And just look at the sightline just here.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one because it goes.
Yeah, as you just stand and watch the coaster go by.
With all of the lava. Yes, it's a good sightline of the launch. And it's not often you see the Zenith used either. Everyone uses the Mac. Because Mac's fashionable, right? Intamin launches are just whatever.
So last year.
2005 called. Yeah. They want their launch code back. And it's so good that someone's using the Zenith. Someone's going for a good old Intamin that's going to rattle your brain. Love it.
Dear.
This is such a great area as well for the queue entrance, and hiding all of the bollards and stuff. You know, the bollards that have got the green, amber, red lights and whatever. So it actually looks like a queue entrance. It doesn't look like a Planet Coaster queue entrance.
Oh, it really does, and very interactive as well with everything that's going on around it. Very immersive, very in fitting with the theme as well. Obviously, we're all coming through the cave. At numerous points throughout the queue, you can see the ride just whizzing past you on either side as well. Beautifully done.
great path interaction.
And a fantastic station as well.
I was going to say the station is so well done as well because it's using rock poke through effectively. So obviously, as creators, we can't do anything about the fact that the assets are big and whatever. But this is done perfectly, and it looks as it should do. It looks like you've been buried. So
they're buried in the mountain, and look at them stats as well. Really good stats. Force is perfectly acceptable as well. We've got green across the board. So second ride, let's do it. Enjoy, everyone. Right, so there we have Pompeii. I love that ride. I love the ideaing behind it and the theming that you've got going on around that ride. That was fantastically implemented. The way that it comes out almost kind of like felt like kind of it came out of the volcano as well at the start. Absolutely brilliant. Really good elevation changes. Use of foliage and rock around it again. Now, as for the ride itself, unfortunately, I would say it did require a bit of smoothing throughout the ride. There were a couple of elements that I thought did require smoothing, and then certainly towards the end as well, the final corner, just as you come around here. So as we just zoom down here, all this was fine. I really like this, how it comes past the queue. But then this final corner here just felt very sharp. It felt like it came around it too quickly. So I just think that you needed to extend the brake run. Maybe have a brake run before that corner and then extend the brake run coming down here a little bit as well. But I love the ideaing behind it. I think it was absolutely fantastic. Just, like I say, just a little bit of smoothing for me is all. Chacho, what did you think?
Very Maverick, isn't it? If you take Cedar Point and you have a look at Maverick, it's got the similar sort of pacing. It's got a similar sort of feel to it. I think I agree with what you're saying there. For me, the realism purist in me was kicking off and going, I kind of want to make sense of all of that lava and have it work as it would do in real life. You know, have pipes and have reasons for it to be there. And I think for me, it's the banking. I think if the coaster has got more banking to it, I think it would be more acceptable in terms of how it rides. And I think it would probably be a bit smoother as well. So, but however, we did say it's an Intamin, and we did say it's designed to kill you. It's supposed to rattle you around. So this is definitely going to do that. So I love the layout. As I said, it gives the same vibes as Maverick does. So I think it's very well placed. It's very well thought out. It's well paced as well. I think there's just a few tweaks that are needed to the track just to bring it up to what I would release. But then at the same time, let's not compare. let's not compare console with PC, right? Because you just can't.
The 4 meter method on a console absolutely destroys the counter. Absolutely.
Does it really?
Yeah. 4 meter method. Absolutely death. If you do build a coaster that's like a 20 meter method, for example, like do the entire coaster, it will probably take up about a fifth of the percentage what a 4 meter method would.
No way. Yeah. Well, that does kind of make sense because I guess it's got to calculate every piece, piece by piece, right? So if you're doing 4 meters, you've got more pieces than if you did 20 meters. The problem is you then don't have as much control over the shaping of your track if you don't use 4 meter. But is the trade-off worth it? I think it probably would be. If you're going to get more in your park, if you're doing it by longer track segments, then I think it would be worth it. That's so funny.
Do you realise what that's for? That's Tommy
No,
Cien.
but it's
Tommy Cien.
Oh, of course it is.
Cow mascot.
Yes,
he absolutely detests it. Yeah,
course
that's
it
a Tommy
is.
CM shout out
Yeah.
there. And just this entire building as well. Oh my days, it's so beautiful.
Well, this is an interior, isn't it?
There's an
So
interior.
everything that we were talking about before is absolute crap because this is an interior.
It is. It is, and it's a beautifully done interior as well. And then he's thought about the realism on top with the ventilation and the pipes as well. And then just all the way around this building, kind of like the trimming that you put on with the windows and then the balconies that are coming off. It's just beautifully done. Absolutely fantastic architectural style. I love the colouring. I love the subtle yellow of it. I just think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. And this is the problem with being a Theme Maker's Toolkit stan, is that you forget that the in-game pieces are actually pretty good, and you can make some pretty good stuff with in-game pieces, and you guys on console are proving that. Like, this building is beautiful. It's, like, so perfect for what you're trying to achieve in terms of the neoclassical Roman architecture and whatever, especially when it's Italy, isn't it? So, it feels like we're going on Eurovision, by the way.
It does a little bit. Yeah, we've got more European to come yet as well.
Of course we have.
Of course. So, right, what we got here, we have Little Tony's Pizza. And just again, every building is different. Each one is coloured differently, but they all complement each other. They don't clash. It's all subtle and feels realistic. And I just absolutely love it. And again, we're coming around here. We've got another backstage area. Once again, we've got all the barrels. We've got the trolleys, jacks, ventilation, everything. He's thought about everything. I'm checking the interior for everything. Every single one I have to.
Well, of course you do. Just in case you're going to miss something, because this park has got quite a few Easter eggs in it as well, and I'm loving the Easter eggs. Like some of the stuff that's in here is so funny, and I'm loving seeing all of the backstage stuff as well. Sometimes we do forget that you don't need backstage for everything, so that there are some shops that don't require a backstage area because they would have storerooms within the building. And I'm guilty of that as well. I'm like, oh, everything has to have a backstage. I was like, actually, think about the strategy. And Shorehaven Pier has done that quite a lot for me, actually, actually, I'm not far away from a storage area for a shop.
They just get some pump trucks and bring them over on a pallet, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the shops that are hanging off the side of the pier, they don't have storage areas as such. They don't have a maintenance area. They just exist because the storage area is at the front of the pier, and they would just pallet truck everything down for what they need that day. And this, by the way, is beautiful at night. I'm just going to change the subject. This ride is beautiful at night. This is so well done. So impressed with this. Love
it's just fantastic. Really nice roofing as well, with that beams just going all the way around. Yeah, great job. We've got a giant water feature here, so of course I'm happy. What I loved in this park as well is the fact that he's decorated all around the sides as well. So from a guest point of view, if you're walking around in Plipcam, just as a guest, there's a lot of stuff behind the buildings that you would never see. And only as a player would you ever see it. We have the Loch Ness Monster here, because why not? I mean, why would you not put the Loch Ness Monster in this highly realistic park?
Well, fine. It's an animatronic. It's allowed. Yeah. It's allowed.
Suspend your disbelief. Fine.
Yeah, it's a theme park.
Exactly. It's a game. It's not real, Matty. It's just a game.
It's a game. Chill out, everybody.
Calm down. All right. But anyway, we've got Mexican, which is coming soon. When? Who knows? Don't hold your breath.
I love that. It's like that mañana thing, isn't it? It's like, whatever. It's Mexican. Yeah. We'll get to it when we get to it.
When we've got the budget. Do it. But I love the fact that he started the infrastructure as well, and he's got like kind of where the shops are going to be, so you can almost envision what it's going to be like, where you're going to walk over the bridge and you've got your shops on either side just as you walk in. He's even got the park maps ready. He's got no rides here, but he's got the park maps. It's the most important thing. Got Jasmine's landscaping. Sorry, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
If SeaWorld can get away with not theming Emperor and the station, then hey, you can get away with not opening a ride area, right?
Exactly. It'd be absolutely fine. I love this. I love the fact that the number plates say for sure. Again, mocking Michael. I love it. I love the humour, for sure. And then Jasmine's landscaping, so obviously Jasmine being Jasmine from M&J Games as well. I just really appreciate all these little shout outs that you've done to me and Michael and Tommy. I think it's so good of you, and just these little Easter eggs and nods. I really appreciate it, and makes all this worthwhile, all these like little shout outs and parks when I'm doing these tours and everything. And thank you guys.
You guys are very tight, aren't you? That's what she said. You guys are a tight community. Got to get one in, at least one per episode. You guys are a really tight community, though, aren't you? It's really nice that you shout each other out and you support each other. You bounce ideas off each other. That's exactly what us PC guys used to do in the very beginning. You know, we used to publish videos and share tips and everything, and we still do to this day. And it's so nice to see that the console community is also doing that. But you're not siloing that. You're also interacting with the PC community. PC guys are interacting with you guys. It's the same game. You're just using a different platform to play it on, right? And people forget that sometimes. People forget that it's the same game.
Oh, so I'm still sat here chuckling to myself. It just came out of nowhere. You completely threw me for a loop. I'm sorry.
Not that I've planned this. Not that I've planned this or anything.
Not at all. Not at all. We're doing this. We're just winging it. I'll be fine. That's how I roll. I just literally wing every video. But yeah, I love the fact that he put that sign about coming into the Russian area as well. They built most of this in 2021. Before obviously what's happening, we're going to keep politics out of this completely. But I just think it's fantastic. I think it's beautifully done. I think the theming is absolutely spot on. This Russian prison makes me think of Stranger Things. Expecting to find Hopper here somewhere.
Yes, that's a good shout. Yeah, it is. And you know, Russian architecture is good. It's beautiful.
It is.
Like some of the stuff that has been built has been really good. And like some of it is perfect for a theme park as well because of all of this. You know, it's like a proper dungeon prison, isn't it? And it works perfectly.
I mean, this policeman here is guarding the crows for some reason.
Well, I was wondering what he was doing when I was watching the video, and I was like, have I missed a reference of like a film or something, or is this just something humorous where there's a guard and crows in it?
I think so. I think that's what it's supposed to be. But I just love the ideaing behind this, and it's not something you often see as a Russian theme either. Now, I've seen French Alps, I've seen Germany done many a time. I've seen Switzerland. I've seen all these European countries, but I've never really seen Russian done before. I think this may be one of the first, and it's done so well as well. And I'd actually like to see more of it because it's really nailed that cold aesthetic as well.
Yeah, let's set a challenge for your viewers then. In the comments below, comment of all of the countries that don't get enough love in theme parks, and maybe let's do a park project of those themes.
It's a 200 IQ play right there.
I know, right? Let's do it.
It's almost like kind of you've done this before, Chacho.
I know.
It's like you know what you're doing.
Right? Get a bit of viewer interaction going on.
There you go. That's what I need to start doing.
Let's do it. So what countries don't get enough love? 'Cause obviously you've got Busch Gardens, right? Does it very well, and the obvious ones get done very well. So what countries don't get enough love? Let's see if we can pull something together.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
we can do a community project with it on the console.
Yes, let's do it.
There you go.
Sorry, I've just given you more work.
But because I am going off to do it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I love this. I love all the style all around here. I love the differing aspects of all the areas, how he's got these different countries, and each one feels unique. Each one feels really aesthetically pleasing for the theme that he's gone for, and he's really nailed it in every single area.
Yeah, and using some of the vintage architecture stuff as well, like the Baroque stuff, you don't see that often. Like, it's only been Shorehaven Pier that I've started to use some of the vintage pack stuff, and it's actually quite lovely to work with. And the World's Fair pack is a good pack, but it's unloved because it's got a lot of architecture that is just too big to use in a generic park or a realistic park. But actually, when you're going for style over substance, it's perfect. Like, the vintage pack and the World's Fair pack together are brilliant at this sort of thing. So it's nice to see that it's actually being used, and it's nice to see everything put in this way.
I couldn't agree more. When I was filming the video, I was like, why was that guest smoking? I was like, what is going on? That guest's on fire. And then obviously I put two and two together and realised that because the train is actually lowered down there, it was the smoke of the train. But for
how does that happen?
Second, I was like, spontaneous human combustion has just happened on this guest.
Yeah. So is there a feature of the game that we've not seen?
I've broken the game.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's come on this ride. So the final ride of the park. So we have the polar bear. So this was the new attraction put in this year. Going from the sign at the very entrance, it said this was a new attraction. So this is going to be the big draw for the moment. Like, kind of, this is going to be on all the marketing and advertising. Again, I think about this way too much. I put way too much. I like to place myself in the park when I'm doing a chat show. It's like I really try and immerse myself and imagine it's a real place and everything. And so I kind of like think of all the lore and all the story and everything. And yeah, this park has been advertising to everywhere that they've got a new attraction. So.
But that's the thing. If it triggers that imagination in you and it satisfies that trigger, then it's done its job.
Exactly.
So the fact that you can imagine the marketing that's been put in and the guests rushing to it because it's the newest ride, it's getting the longest queue, it's the one that the guests in the park are talking about all the time. If it can trigger that imagination in you just by looking at a park, it's done its job, and it's done its job well.
It makes you forget that it's a game as well. You sometimes
Exactly.
forget that you're looking at Planet Coaster. But anyway, final ride of the park. Green across the board. The G-force is once again really good. So let's go for a ride. Enjoy, everybody. So, there we go. Final ride of the park. So, Chacha, my friend, what did you think of that?
I mean, who doesn't like having a good Woody? It's perfectly placed in the park. It's the perfect sight line, and it from the front of that shop, that lift hill in the first drop is perfectly placed. It's just like the perfect sight line, and it rides really well too. I mean, who doesn't love riding a Woody? So I love it. What did you think?
I think it was really good. I really, really enjoyed that ride. I think it was absolutely fantastic. As you were saying, the sight lines of it. Once again, just with all the other rides in the park as well, the implementation of it, the thought process behind it, where you placed it. I like the fact that it's at the back of the park because this is the biggest footprint of the park as well. So it's quite set back on the park. It feels quite realistic for that sense. I think it was really well smoothed as well. Yeah, I think it was absolutely brilliant. Great ride to go on at the end of the park. Yeah.
Loving the snow that's used as well. You don't often see the snow used, and I stray away from it as well myself because I could never get it to feel right. This feels right. It's in the perfect areas of like the roofing, and it's in the ride area. It's just so well done. It's so well put together. And I now see what you mean about this idea of it feeling like it's a new ride and it's been marketed and people are flocking to it, and it's been put at the back of the park for that exact reason. So it's to draw people through to the park. It's not causing a rush and a crush at the front of the park. And so on. And this is an interior, so there are interiors in this park, and that's really well done as well for a gift shop. Like you can almost see as well that there's been a progression through the park, right? In the sense of the front of the park may not have had as much effort put into it because there was a budget constraint or the park wasn't as mature, but the back end of the park definitely makes it make sense.
Yeah, 100%. But I thought what we'll do is we'll just have a quick zoom around on the train as well. So we won't actually go on the train. We'll just follow the line as it goes around. But I love this train. I like the fact that you've used the paint tool underneath the track as well. That is one thing that I have said to people in the past in previous spotlights is when you are putting these train tracks down, things like that, is just think about your paint tool because it wouldn't go on solid green grass. It doesn't always like really make sense. So there's going to be like kind of wood chippings or gravel or something just underneath them train tracks. We've got this really nice custom bridge that the train goes over as well, over a water feature. So I'm happy, of course.
We love a good water feature.
Love a good water
that
feature.
bridge is beautiful. That bridge is so simple, but so well done.
Yeah, simple and effective once again. I think that's
one thing I would point out here. It needs fences. It needs the ability to fence off the railway line from the guests, particularly as you've got a queue line there.
Makes sense.
And it needs people don't tend to jump over queue lines. We're not all idiots, right? We know what we're doing at a theme park. However, health and safety doesn't allow for like sensibilities for people to be sensible, so you have to still fence it off. That's the only thing that I would say. Doesn't have to be high, doesn't have to be don't die fencing, just has to be enough to stop people going through.
Agreed, especially given the fact that you have got all this percentage still to add. I'd love to see you kind of come back and add to that Mexico area, to be honest. I just the fact that you've got all this more percentage still to play with it just baffles me. I can't believe you've still got another 20% to still play with in this park, because this is a big, highly detailed park as well. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, agreed. I'd love to see what you'd do with the Mexican area as well, just to see how it would look when it's finished. Here's the maintenance area, by the way, for the railway. Right, like, just telling you what to see in your own park, by the way. I still, just in case you missed it the first time.
Exactly.
I love this. I love it.
It's just so well put together. It's absolutely fantastic. But anyway, so for the first time on the channel, Nerdchacho, give me your 3-word park review.
Eurovision on steroids.
Oh, I love it. That was so quick as well. It's like, had you literally got that lined up ready to go?
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, wow.
This was the first thing, when we were mentioning about going on a Eurovision tour, that's the first thing I wrote down. I was like, I know you're going to ask me for a 3-word tour, a 3-word review. And I was like, Eurovision on steroids. Perfect.
Mine would be absolutely incredible. Oh, no, that's 4 words. Oh, crap.
Oh, you can't even play your own game. Come on.
I'm terrible at my own game. Oh, this is custom supported, by the way, as well. To add even more custom supported there.
So wait. So we're custom supported and we're at 80%.
Yeah.
Get out. He's running this on PC.
Must be. No.
I'm calling it now. This is PC.
Cheating. 3-word park review would be Challenge Park Masterclass.
Is that technically not 4?
Yeah, Masterclass is 1 word.
Oh, it's hyphenated.
I'm counting it to my video.
Okay, right, fine. Okay, overruled. Officially overruled.
Officially overruled. Look at the night lighting in this park.
Yeah, this is good. Do you know? I'm gonna say this. I think the console lighting is better than the PC lighting, and I don't know what they've done. Yours doesn't look so dark.
Is it because we've got the HDR?
Oh yeah, of course.
Because this is in 4K, 60 frames a second HDR.
All right, show
no,
off.
I think it's 30 frames. I think it's 30 frames. I think it's 4K, 30 frames a second HDR.
Okay, that makes sense. Because and the reason I'm saying that is all of your low-level dark lighting isn't dark. It's all it's still like ambient darkness, if that makes sense. Whereas on the PC, it's dark, and you have to sort of use some lighting tricks and techniques to make it look like it's ambiently lit. But this doesn't look like it looks like it's ambiently lit. Does that make sense? Oh,
I know what you mean.
Hey.
I know what you mean. It's fine. Nobody else knows.
I've got this one without
That's
waffling.
the most important thing. But I can't believe I've actually had you on the channel, Chacho. It's been, honestly, an absolute honour to have you on the channel. I can't believe that you're here. When I first started this journey, I didn't think I'd be having the likes of Moomin Little Socks, Nerdchacho, Tommy CM on my channel, all these people that I used to watch before I even started. So yeah, thank you ever so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure, my friend.
Oh, thank you for having me. This has been so much fun. Like, this has been, and it's been a long time coming as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for having me. This has been good, and this is a good park to showcase as well.
I'll make sure to save up another good one for later on, and when you can join me.
Oh, bring it on! Yes,
And sorry.
No, carry on. You go
I
on.
was just going to say thank you ever so much for watching, everybody, because we are just approaching the end of the video now. So make sure to go and subscribe to Nerdchacho. There will have been a link at the very start of the video in the top corner. There'll also be a link down below as well. So go and subscribe to him. But thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It does really, really help me out. I will see you in a couple of days for another Planet Coaster Spotlight. Take care, stay safe, look after yourselves, and I will see you in a few days. Say goodbye, Chacho.
Goodbye, Chacho.
Bye.
Oh, it didn't do that last time.
Yeah, it did. I did it when you'd gone to the bathroom.
Oh, I was gonna say that's fancy. Now recording. You definitely need to have the. I've just done a wee and a poo at the beginning of the video.
Look at that. That was like literally to the second I got that right.
That's pros. We're pros at this.
It's like I've done this before.
If I'm talking too much, then tell me.
Mate, given the fact that I've got Nerdchacho on the video, most people are going to want to hear you more than me anyway.
Oh, no, don't say that. That's like narcissism kicking in right there.
So, there we have Pompeii. What a ride. No.
Stop.
Stop. I didn't like that.
Try again.
It just wasn't coming.
That's what she said.
Name your title your sex tape.
Are people actually going to watch this? They're just going to listen to the two of us prattling on going, nah, mate, I'm out. See ya.
Unsubscribe. Downvote.
Yeah, this is going to be the video you pull.
So, Chacho, there we go. Final ride of the park. What did you think of that then, my friend?
Oh, I love it. I've got wood. It's absolutely the perfect woody coaster to put into a park. And it's really difficult to do.
I'm sorry. So, Chacho, what did you think of that?
Well, I'm not going to lie, I've got wood. I mean, it's an absolute perfect coaster to put into a park. Everyone loves a woody, right? Everyone loves a woody. But you just got to be careful where you place your woody. Because, oh no, sorry, I can't. We're not going to get through this bit, are we, now? That's it.
We've
game
completely
over.
ruined it. I'll see you in a couple of days when we've composed ourselves. Chacho, what did you think of that then, my friend?
I mean, who doesn't love a good woody? I've got wood. So it's a perfect park to put this kind of coaster in. It's like perfectly placed right at the back. It's just... Stop it! Stop it!
I'm going to mute myself. I will mute myself, I promise. I've got tears. I'm literally crying here. Oh dear, hang on. I actually need to wipe the tears away.